But the Kings and Hurricanes, let's jump into this one here, break this game down. It should be a good contest here. There's some different scheduling spots to kind of look at for both teams. But Carolina minus 200, LA plus 170 here. And take a look really at this game here for Carolina. They're going to be playing their 5th game in 8 nights. It's been very busy for them. And of course, LA, they've been traveling all around. They've been on the road for a little bit and, playing some competitive hockey here, Carm. But what are your thoughts here on this minus 200 for the Carolina Hurricanes?
I get the fifth game in 8 nights thing. That bothers me more in situations like the next game that we're going to talk about, the Columbus one, where you play 5 games in 8 nights and there's travel in between. Last couple of games have been at home for Carolina, so I'm not really worried about the 5th game in 8 nights because end of the night they're back home in their own beds. They played against the Sharks, which was exciting one, but an easy one, and then the Bruins probably a little tougher, and it was a much bigger scoreline than winning 4-1. They're playing really well right now. It's tough to go against a team. We talk about that, catching a falling knife against a team that's playing extremely well. The thing that worries me more is the LA Kings. Andrew, you look at them and they're sporadic. They win 3, they lose 3, but it's the games that they lose that worry me more about the games that they win, because they're beating up on teams like they beat the Flyers, they beat the Blackhawks, they beat a Florida team that was down to their 3rd string goalie, and Alex Lyons, the guy who's allowed I think 16 or 17 goals in 3 games. He's getting lit up. The games that they lose are against teams that play similar style to the Hurricanes, a more physical style, never take a shift off. Tampa Bay, Nashville, Dallas, New Jersey, Boston. Those are their last 5 losses. Those teams rank right up there with Carolina. Same type of team that doesn't take a shift off. I just don't like the spot here for the Kings. I think that Carolina is the play here. Obviously, the vig is high. You can look at like those first period plays. You can look at a possible puck line if you want. But I'm not getting in front of a Carolina team that's playing some of the best hockey of any team in the NHL right now. So it's Canes for me. Buster? You're muted, Buster. Buster will be with us shortly.
There we go.
We have that. I didn't realize I was muted there. Just must have hit the mute button because I was always told make sure you do that when you have a cough, and I've got a little bit of a cough going this morning because I was out having a few cervezas last night. So, anyways, yeah, Carolina is a 210 favorite, 200 there I see on the board, and as everyone knows, I'm not betting that. There's no way I'm going to win that, but I agree with Carmine. I like Carolina in this spot. I've actually already put them out minus 130 in regulation to my clients as a best bet. I really like them here. Had Carolina on Sunday against Boston, and it was a great situation for Carolina, a bad situation for Boston. To me, I think this is another. I know it's 5 out of 8 games, but Carolina, like Carmine said, they're at home, and they've been really good. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, and they have already beat LA in LA 4-2 this season. And LA, again, they're on, this is going to be their 6th game of a road trip. And what's interesting, because with all this all-star games, and I tell everybody what people should do, take a look at the schedule, see how long off there are in between games and things like that. Even for the teams that stop playing on Saturday and Sunday, they might get 7 or 8 days, maybe 9. Well, the Kings are getting 11 days off. They don't go back till February 11th. They're in Raleigh. How many of these guys have their foot right on that plane? Because Raleigh to the Bahamas is a pretty quick flight. They'll be in the Atlantis casino by 1 o'clock this morning playing with their buddies. I mean, it's just a real bad spot for LA, if you ask me. And Carolina, as Carmine said, points are very, very imperative for Carolina because they want that number 1 spot in the East. Because if they get home ice advantage for the East, they can be very deadly. As for the total here, 6 I think is the right number, but There's a lot trending to the over. If I see it 6 under 20. So if somehow in the afternoon it hits the 5.5, I would take a small play on the over here. The Kings are 8-2-1, their last 11 to the over. Carolina, they're 10-3, the last 13 to the over. We're going to take Carolina regulation here, but just one more thing. I know it's not regulation, but the Kings, they're 0-6 the last 6 against Carolina. Can't lay 210, can't lay 200. I am going to lay 130 in regulation with Carolina in this spot.
Well, as you always recap, Buster, I will recap that I am on a different side as the boys today here. This is the first game here, and we're head to head. A lot of times I like to look towards road teams when you have a Christmas break approaching, whether you have an all-star break approaching, when there's some type of break approaching. The road team, to me, I think always seems to be a little more dialed in. It's more of a business trip mentality. If you're at home, you're doing your thing, you're getting ready to do whatever you're going to do with your family, or head away with your teammates and do whatever. I feel like the psychology of it, I think, is the road team comes in business as usual. They're on a road trip. The home team is just there waiting to play that last game and just get out of town. And I get it. There's two different scenarios here. We've got Carolina that, have been playing a lot of games in a short period of time. And then you have the Kings who have been on the road for a long time. So really the question to everybody out there watching this show, if you're handicapping this game, what do you care more about? The fact that one team's been on the road a lot, or the fact that one team's played a lot of games in a short period of time? And for me, I'm just looking at value in this game. Obviously, guys, I know how elite Carolina are. They're one of the best teams in the league. I mean, they're a great team for a reason. I just saw this plus 175 I got overnight, and I thought I had to jump on it, looking at a great spot. But that under, guys, I think is a really good play too. I mean, Freddie is 5-0 since he came back from injury, 2.38 goals against average. Phoenix Copley has been outstanding, 2.82 goals against average. It would be hard not to see an under in this one as well. But I'll go with the dog here. We'll see if we can be on the same page with the next one, Buster.